What's up, everybody? Blake the Scholar Magic. I am trying out a new camera, so let me know how it goes. If we need to fix audio later, I will try. But yeah, let me know how it looks. It's pretty much from my phone, so I was using my iPad before. But today I'm going to be your guide. I'm going to be, taking you through Standard right now. This is a very relevant set for Standard. In fact, if you follow some major content contributors like Crokies or Sloth, you will notice that Vivi's not the only card on the block. Teval is definitely a broken card. And I think a lot of us were interested in that card, in the brawl sense. Even when it came out, it just seemed like kind of, historically good, and that power level was there. So we're going to be looking for Teval today. I think it's only like a $2 card still, but obviously it's just a powerhouse and maybe a sleeper in that manner. So we'll definitely be also looking for Ugin. You'll see on the playmat here, this card is also in this set. So it's a big chase card. So we'll definitely be looking for that. And that's kind of the objective today, is find a Teval, find an Ugin. And the rest will just kind of be extra credit. Remember to like and comment on the video. I do giveaways at every 750 subscribers. So the way I track that is through comments. So just make sure that you are commenting. All right, middle's always been pretty good. So we'll save that for a little bit later. Let's kind of get right into the left side and just kind of pop. And like I said, we're just looking for, I like maybe a showcase Teval so that I can like use that as part of the giveaway, because we are giving away Taiko, the Patient Avalanche, which is a ninjutsu commander. So yeah, so let's just kind of look for some sweet cards here. And there are like, there's definitely a wide meta. I mean, there's obviously just broken like kind of board states that can kind of be accumulated with certain cards. But overall, like there's definitely some things to kind of discover. This is a good card that synergizes with Kothis in this deck. So you will see that it gives menace to a creature. There's a card that will basically, when it connects with damage, you get to reveal cards from the top of your opponent's library based on how much damage you do. So this is like a really good evasion card if you're looking for like Voltron strategies that have to do with combat damage. Hallmark Surge is definitely a card actually was on my mind. I was like, yeah, the sieges are pretty good, so definitely like not a stinker. Value wise, could be like whatever. But yeah, we're just kind of looking for like the nice dragons here. The Meringue River region is really cool as well. And yeah, everything looks really good. These are interesting too. These are like the enchantments that will pop back to your hand when you have a dragon into the battlefield. Let's see, is this like give you some lands? When this enchantment enters, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them on the battlefield, tap and shuffle. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. That's really nice. Breaching's Dragonstorm. Saw a lot of this like when the set first came out. Basically because it will like fetch like a higher mana costed spell in your deck or permanent, right? When this enchantment enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if that spell's mana value is 8 or less. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. If you don't, put that card into your hand. When a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. That's fantastic. I think they're definitely doing Urani stuff with this particular card. And there's Serac. I do see him in a lot of the mono green decks. Just gets you like card advantage because if your things get targeted, you get to start drawing each time that instance happens with Serac. So that's not so bad. And there's their foil and the foil. I would like to get a Ugin, but like there's so many cool cards to look at today. So whatever we get, I'm sure will be fine. But that would definitely be kind of the sequence would be to get a Teval of some sort. And it looks like we're going to get something here. There's some nice little art even for the uncommons. Songcrafter mages are rare. Definitely good for like high power decks that involve instants and sorceries. Not the worst. but we are coming up on the weekend, so that's fantastic. And I've somehow added like millions of subscribers all of a sudden, and I really haven't even put out too much. We did Fumulus, a live Fumulus, which was really fun. And I do plan on just like putting out like, paper deck text. I think that's going to be my thing. We'll do like the card openings here as well, because it's just like a nice way to interact. But we'll definitely be doing mostly paper deck text from here on out, and then doing live streams for the brawl to kind of get our juices flowing. But that's a Mox Jasper. This is like pretty hot when it first came out. Still probably pretty good for like your non-green or really fast if you want to go real fast dragon decks. Add 1 mana of any color, activate only if you control a dragon. That's fine. That's a mythic. So we'll just kind of put that one at the top here. Kind of slot it right there. Kind of a chase hit, right? We'll track our mythic pulls. I think I have like 2 others of those, so they've been kind of like sticking to me, as you would say. And I think you can actually get fetch lands in this too, like amongst the commons, so that's kind of cool. It's like a kind of a chase card, right? So we'll be looking. I do like the Corroding Dragonstorm for my Teval deck, just because you get like a nice little value in Surveil. So yeah, I am building Teval, and it became Sultai Dragons. So let me know if you're hyped about that, because I am super hyped that we did a Sultai Dragon deck, and it has a lot of these Dragonstorm Tarkir cards. Just seems like sweet value. You get to put some cards in your graveyard for the Surveil. Each of your opponents lose 2 life, and you gain 2 life, and then like we have so many dragons entering, we just like do it over and over again. So I just kind of love it for the drain factor, a little life gain. Seems very appropriate for what we're doing. Let me put that to kind of the side for like just playables for me. Very interesting kind of art is this. This feels like very like nice. I do love Civ 6 Ceremony. This is really good for like your Serac piles, at least in Brawl. I'm not so sure if it is like in paper, but this brought some new life at least to that Brawl deck. Like basically the Civ 6 Ceremony is like GG, just because like your creature spells are reduced. Like the Serac becomes one black to cast, and you're just like replaying it over and over again and making a 2/2 zombie each time. It's like really broken. So if I do build a Serac, that's definitely like would probably be the card that like kind of motivates me to do it. Molten Exhale, Blossoming Sand, and a little art card there. So definitely some action here. Got a pretty good deal for this at the LGS. I think it was like 120 bucks or so, so not so bad. Just kind of like seems like very appropriate Magic costing things. Not too crazy. Like mostly everything else. Ooh, Scavenger Region. I love to see it, guys. Just love to see this card. It's perfect for my Teval commander deck. Just another sweet dragon that can just wipe the board for non-dragons. So each non-dragon creature gets -X/-X. So your other dragons are just unscathed. Fantastic. And then another Siege. I believe this one will give haste, right? So you get to choose either one of those upon entering. So either you basically get like a Toski on an enchantment for 3 mana. So deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Oh, it's just 1 or more. So it's not each instance, it's just for that player. So it's definitely like an EDH card where you're spreading that damage out, right? Pretty cool card. I like it. I'm a fan. Rite of Renewal, Windscar Crag, Warrior. So let me know what you guys, what set were you into so far? Anything new? Anything great? I say this one stood out for sure. I was also a fan of Final Fantasy, of course. And also Dustmourn. Dustmourn was like, oof, what a pack. What a set. Just kind of going a little slower because I know there are fetch lands in between sometimes. And maybe we'll find one. Rite of Renewal. And then Rediscover the Way. This is a pretty common card to get. And probably has like probably your most value in like your Shiku decks, which is also like a a card we can find along the way today. Let's rediscover the way. So it looks like you'll get into some gas. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And you do that twice. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this turn, target creature you control gains double strike. Oh, that's kind of cool. Enchantments are kind of mostly busted in the Shiku deck because you can just like, especially like your sagas, right? Just making token copies of like those things over and over again. I got like a little cool thing here. It's an Awaken the Honored Dead. Okay, that's a card. And I was considering this. Crokies is playing this in his standard pile for Teval. Just because the value is really good. You get to destroy a non-land permanent for 3 mana. That's solid. Then you get to mill 3 cards. Then you may discard a card when you do return target creature land card from your graveyard to your hands. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid, like kind of just like very versatile. So definitely put that to the side. Definitely consider it for the Teval deck. This seems like a good Sultai card, but probably better in a 1-versus-1 format, to be honest. Moving along well. Looks like we had 1 mythic so far. I'm not really sure if there's too much like, action outside of the mythic slot. This is a creature. When this creature enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant, sorcery, or dragon card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Untapped dragons you control have hexproof. All right. That's quite a lot of selection. I like the Dragonologist. That's cool. Cool card. Put that one to the side. All right. Last pack of the first column. And we are rolling. Let's go, Ugin. Where you at? Another Siege and a Sarkhan. So we finally got like a double rare pack, which was kind of welcome there. And more Siege. So it's like we're getting mostly the siege narrative here. So this one, as this enchantment enters, choose Teamer or Sultai. Teamer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, target player mills 4 cards. Yikes. Sultai. You may play lands from your graveyard. Ugh. I'd have to say, like, you may play lands from your graveyard is like the most broken mechanic. Like, especially when you're getting into like your more, vintagey things like with Azusa and exploration and some of that nonsense, and you're just like popping off because you can just simply play a million lands from your graveyard. This is like absolutely busted. So busted. And then we have a Sarkhan here. So Sarkhan is pretty cool, right? He'll make a treasure like immediately if you behold a dragon, if you have a dragon in your hand. Whenever a dragon you control enters, put one counter on Sarkhan. Till end of turn, Sarkhan becomes a dragon. Yeah, it's fine. It's great. Yeah, great card. Yeah, have it become a copy like of a Terror of the Peaks or a Wrathful Red Dragon, and then like you're just like getting the dubs like immediate. Rolling Dragonstorm, perfect for my Teval deck. It's actually perfect because you just draw 2 cards and discard a card. Teval comes on the battlefield and you're just popping this back and just playing it for 1 blue. You're just drawing gas and putting more cards in your grave. It's amazing. All Out Assault. This could be bomb, right? Creatures you control get 1/1 and have Death Touch. Ooh, I love Death Touch. When this enchantment enters, if it's your main phase, there is an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. When you next attack this turn, untap each creature control. That's a lot of main phases, guys. I want to read more about this card. If you guys know exactly the sequence of this, can you just describe like how this looks? Because it sounds like you do get the extra combat, and you get a main phase, and then something after that. And they obviously all your things get to untap. You get a buff and death touch. Interesting stuff. Mythics just kind of demand an extra look sometimes, don't they? This little Dragonstorm globe, Thornwood Falls, and just a really cool art card. A beautiful set, obviously. Just kind of fun to open, really. I have to say, this card's really busted, right? Target creature gets 3/0 and gains haste, and then you can harmonize it by tapping a creature to actually help pay for this cost. And you can recast it. It's a really nasty card. Really good for those like go fast type of decks. Excuse me. How's this one? The Glacial Dragon Hunt. I think it fell off a little bit. Draw a card, you may discard a card. When you discard an online card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to target creature. Okay. And then you can harmonize that, so little value as well. So it can be like a removal spell in the certain circumstances. I always thought these were really interesting for like your Beanstalk decks, like the 6 modal kind of spells here. So we'll be looking for Rashaka's Bargain too. But very interesting, where you can just trigger your Beanstalk with this because has 6 mana value. Or you can pay the white, black, or green, or you can play 2 in a black and then 2 in a green. So any like combination of those from 3 to 6 mana. So really interesting card. A Karsi Revenant. I'll definitely consider this for my Jiawa deck. It was definitely pretty hot there for a second. Flying Death Touch Lifelink, and then you can renew it from your graveyard. Exile this card from your graveyard, put a flying counter, a Death Touch counter, and a lifelink counter on target creature. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that actually. So I was kind of like considering this or Preacher. And Preacher is kind of an interesting card in EDH because you need to attack the opponent with you have to have the most life out of all your opponents to get the trigger. So Preacher of the Schism. So I'm curious. Maybe we'll run this one too. We'll try to. Seems interesting. It's extra value. Kind of like the idea of like sending like a Kroxa, a flying lifelink Kroxa at somebody's face. Okay, Caustic Exhale. You behold the dragon, you get to kill something basically that has 3 toughness or less. Pretty cool. So is there any sleepers in this particular set that you guys have been kind of messing with? Let me know. This kind of blink stuff kind of busted in that manner. Ice Climber, Avenger of the Fallen. Oh my god, double hit. That's cool. Wow, double Avenger pack. Okay, maybe this is a sign. Like, am I supposed to run these in all my Jawa? I'm doing Death Touch Tribal, so these all have Death Touch. I think Avenger of the Fallen is like actually the card I was really considering, but like I just didn't have it. But now I do. I have 2. Yeah, because it will see the creatures in your graveyard and just make a bunch of tokens based on how many creatures are in there when this thing attacks. It's super good. Oh, and they sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. That's really interesting. Huh. A little more gas, huh? Kind of an interesting card. Huh. Really good for probably your Sacrifice Matters stuff. Like a Sephiroth deck for sure. That was crazy. It was like a double tap there. I'd like to double tap like a Ugin or something. Low. Okay, this is our rare. Lotus Light Dancers. This is like a tutor card, right? When this creature enters, search your library for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put those cards into your graveyard. Very interesting. It's a creature. These are our mythics so far. All right, let's go, baby. Encroaching Dragonstorm. Clarion Conqueror. This taxes everything, right? Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can be activated. Gross. Activated abilities. Is that all you stop, Clarion Conqueror? The new anti-venom is pretty cool. If you guys are into like kind of taxing your opponents and doing awful things. Dispelling Exhale, perfect. It was like a perfect box to buy. I have all these cards like slated for my my Teval deck, so just more like Dragon Matter counterspell here. Very cool. Any Tevals around? Any Tevals for the attitude? Or Ugins? So is this a mythic with a borderless treatment? It looks like it is. No, it's just a crazy Jeskai dragon, guys. Uncommon. And a Mardu Siegebreaker. That's pretty cool. I feel like the Mardu Siegebreaker is like the ultimate Nazgul card. Like just imagine like eating a Nazgul and then on curve and then just plopping them all down at once, like attacking. It just sounds absolutely insane. Crazy card, really. Probably like will go down in the ages as like really, really good, you know? It's just definitely like more multiplayer gear. More Dispelling Exhale. There's really cool Sorcery Omen cards here too. Another Siegebreaker. And a Mountain, Full Art Mountain. A Karagul Goalkeeper, cool. Stadium Headliner, it's a Goblin. I like that. I like it just like makes like another Gobliness. For a 1-drop, seems sick, you know? Very cool card. Another rare, an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards, and if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. Okay, sure. We're definitely going to need an Ugin to kind of get this this box flowing, or a fetch land, because we're kind of light on the mythics so far, I think. Definitely need to pull one mythic, I think, from this column here. There's another Siege. Counters matters. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Sure thing. Bewildering Blizzard. Ureni! That is super cool. Oh, yes. I was hoping we would get into a Ureni. Let me see if there's anything else here real quick. Okay, just checking. All right, so we got the Ureni, guys. So this is a 5 generic Teamer colored card. 8 mana total. Yikes. Ooh, is this going into my Aragorn deck? Probably. Flying protection from white and from black. When Ureni enters, it deals X damage to divide as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is hot stuff, guys. Real hot stuff. Yep. Big fan. Like and subscribe. Wife says so. You can't argue with a wife. Must like and subscribe. Give me the 750 and I'll be giving away a commander deck. So what do you guys say to that? Just comment on the video so I can track you down. We'll be spinning that wheel real soon. Oh, this is why we do this, guys. I swear. We open these. Voice. That's a big hit. We're on fire. Getting on fire. 1 generic, 1 planes. Mobilize 2. Whenever this creature attacks, create 2 tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature tokens. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. That's probably a really good feature of this too. The fact that it makes more bodies is very awesome as well when it attacks. But just that kind of like Myrel type of effect where this card just says no when your opponents want to play stuff on your turn. It's fantastic. Beautiful. And another full art land. Love to see it. Yeah, if you're curious about the deck giveaways, we give away basically every 250 subscribers. We give away a full commander deck, and usually with value 250 or more. And we definitely include the chase cards. Like this next one coming up is going to have a Buster Sword. You lucky son of a, you lucky SOBs, getting my Buster Sword. But the deck requires it. So, I mean, you look up Tycho the Patient Avalanche. She's fantastic. Like, just great. Here's another Awaken the Honored Dead. We kind of talked about this card early. That's cool. And then the Paranation. This card, I definitely wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to try it in my Omnath deck because it loves mutate and giving things hexproof. And it is a very expensive mythic. I mean, return target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a hexproof counter and an indestructible counter on it. I mean, it gets through mostly everything, right? At that point. I think it probably fits mostly in kind of that Omnath build, right? Your 3 more pips, so you get that kind of mana acceleration. It could also be a part of some combo pieces in Abzan where you're just basically making a impenetrable thing, and that can be a win condition in itself. So, interesting card, but also very expensive. Oh, and we got a 4-elite Corroding Dragonstorm for my deck. Fantastic. Very expensive. I mean, 6 mana for a resurrection spell. You could simply reanimate something like a Valgaval for 1 mana. It's what are you actually doing with your life? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Hundred Battle Veteran. Furious Forebearer, Fellothar. People are messing with Fellothar for sure. Trample. Whenever Fellothar enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Cool. Enters or attacks. It's pretty cool. Definitely wants you to go big. Wide with creatures, right? Go wide. And sacrifice matters things, right? Things that want to be sacrificed. Kind of a nice tidy set. You kind of notice there's a little bit of duplication here. There's a Skirmish Rhino for a little bit of drain. Lots of cosmetics for uncommons and a Mistwriter's Village. That's fantastic. Very very appropriate for your, definitely if your mountain and forest cards are, it becomes even a little bit better, but it just is nice, right? This card has wrecked me on multiple occasions, so I highly recommend it. If you have a mountain or a forest in your deck, and you play blue, you should probably have it in your deck just simply because you can play blue and a tap, and the next spell you cast this turn can't be countered. Very nice. Very nice, guys. About 7 packs left. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Blake the Scholar Magic, and I was looking, we've been making videos since 2023. I think since November, so fairly young channel in that manner, but just kind of steadily doing our thing, making friends along the way. Stalwart Successor, Rolling Dragonstorm, and a Zurgo. I thought that could have been the pack. I was feeling that one, guys. I was feeling that. But Zurgo is cool. Definitely your mobilize, where you get to keep your mobilize tokens. Like during your end step where your tokens you control have this token can't be sacrificed. It's fantastic. Love to see it. Fantastic card. So people are getting the Spider-Man set. I do have some thoughts about that. So we got a region. I think I'm gonna definitely consider the region actually for my Teval deck too, for a little bit of life gain. And ramp. Hell yeah. Yeah, I definitely will. Definitely get this in there too. The Bloom Vine, sweet. Love it. Love to see it, guys. The deck is coming together. I see it. I can see it in my mind. Gonna be a lot of dragons. Yeah, you get to look. You get to do the omen thing here. So if you want to ramp, you can get a forest on the battlefield and one in your hand, or cast this for 5. And whenever this creature or another dragon control enters, you gain 3 life. Fantastic. It's a 4/5 dragon. Ooh, baby. Oh, Dragonstorm Scale Scion. Yo, I didn't even know you were in here. I forgot about you. You're a nasty, nasty red thing. Ugh, flying. Other dragons you control get 1/1. Storm. When you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before this turn. Copies become tokens. I just see like Maria. Maria, my dragon gruel warrior lady. Just like rocking this out with like a dragon helm and just busting them out. Just playing 5 spells before you cast this and just plopping down 5 more Stormscale Scions and just like having, 5/9/9 flying dragons. Holy, what? That's a cool mythic for sure. Nice, beautiful. All right, guys, do you think there is an Ugin hiding here or a fetch land? Don't worry, I have a Ugin already, but I was just like saying, man, it'd be cool. I know you can get them in these packs, so. Ooh, I lost a card. Cool art, man. Just got Revelation, that's like a big bomb, isn't it? Kind of want to explore that too. It's kind of out of Marchesa colors, but I love Marchesa, the dealer of death, spell slinging, like just playing like lots of instants or sorceries in the deck. Seems really interesting. Getting value from the graveyard, maybe like a Narset, like the prowess Narset would be kind of fun to roll like a card like this. Yeah, just a lot of value, bouncing damage to any target, making creature tokens with prowess and draw 2 cards and gaining 4 life. It's just like, whoa, that's a mythic, guys. And we did pretty good. I think it's played like a mediocre box. Seems pretty mediocre, but definitely got some cards, that were kind of unexpected and kind of give me some ideas. And that's why I do this, is because it's fun to just kind of explore the set. I obviously go a little bit faster because of the the YouTubes, but I try to kind of slow it down a little bit for you guys. Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. This one is solid, guys. Also very solid for your dragon decks. You can actually tutor a dragon. So sacrifice this land 4 and a tap, search your library for a dragon card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. It's kind of like a no-brainer, isn't it? For your dragon stuff. Doesn't come in tapped. You can just like add colorless or add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. Fantastic. Love it, guys. And we are moving and shaking. This was a very synergistic set. It seems like the cards just like kind of work kind of very well with each other. Like even like the Teval Ugin vibes are just so good. I wish I pulled a Teval for you guys today, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. This saga is interesting. You make a bunch of elephant tokens, double the power and toughness of each creature controlled until end of turn. That's pretty cool. Bloodfell Caves and this. And the last one. Will it be a mythic? Can we summon the mythic, guys? Can we summon? Oh, it's something juicy, guys. The last pack is always juiced. If I was Wizards, I'd definitely be like putting the bottom packs with like some juice to like keep you hot for the next box, It's a Shiku, I think, which is really cool. And it's like in a really nice frame, which is really nice. So I think Shiku is a mythic too. So let's see. No, I was wrong. It's a rare. Ah, Stillness and Motion. I saw this like kind of like color. Yeah, we read that. It's kind of just interesting. And that was it, guys. That was it, guys. So thank you for joining me today. Here is our kind of mythic pile here. So Stormscale Scion and Ureni, All Out Assault, Jeskai Revelation, Parination, and Mox Jasper. And this was like my cool rare pile. I definitely kind of like had a kind of a cool rare pile. I'll look through the other cards, my other rare pile, to see if there's anything that stood out that maybe I missed. But these are just cards that I'll probably just utilize for decks or just trade in that manner. But mostly it looks like for some decks. I will definitely be considering them for some decks that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I like this card. It seems pretty cool. Scavenger Regent, Sipsic Ceremony, Corroding Dragonstorm. And this was my other little rare pile. See if anything else kind of stood out here. Zergo is really cool. Yeah, definitely be putting them in the binder. Clarion Conqueror. Sarkhan's cool. Yeah, just like kind of like a run-of-the-mill, couple cool mythics. But that's about it, guys. Hope you have a great one. See you later. Bye-bye.